Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on, YouTube? D546. Today we got Dru Phillips. We got a bye week coming up, so I may just spread these film sessions out these next 2 weeks. But today we got Dru Phillips. Dru Phillips had in like an 88 PFF grade, which is like outstanding. I'm pretty sure it may have been low 80s, but he had a good PFF grade. And I just wanted to look at the tape to make sure that I saw some of the same things that PFF saw. So in this first play, you got Dru Phillips in the slot, and this is just about as cover two can be. You're going to see Dru Phillips basically take away two routes here on this play. Real simple stuff, just dropping underneath, taking away this kind of fade route here or corner fade to the back of the end zone. That initial window is gone there. He's also in position to come up and make a tackle if for some reason Bryce Young decides to go here. And then if you pay attention, he also cuts back over. So if he would have come back to this other read, this is an interception. Now we can't control that these guys carried this guy all the way across the field. And this is another reason why, maybe we should have paid Xavier McKinney, because Dane Belton is helping for no reason on this guy. But essentially, if you just look at Dru Phillips, takes away that, he's really aware of what's going on in his zone. All right, so it wouldn't be a Dru Phillips video without without an offensive line view, without an end zone angle view. Dru Phillips is always in the backfield. He's always making plays like he's a linebacker, and this is no different. He's just going to sniff out this run here, get Chuba Hubbard, wrap him up in the backfield with some help from Brian Burns, but nice play there from Dru Phillips to get in the backfield. He understands these blocking schemes so well that he can always get through these gaps and help make these tackles. All right, so Dru Phillips right here does a great job back in the cover two, just limiting everything that he could have possibly limited on this play. I mean, he played this about as well as you can. He's kind of in a difficult situation. So just watch him drop back here to take away this initial deep route. So takes away any window right there. If the quarterback wanted to throw a seam here, he's there. And then he recognizes that there's a crosser, comes up and takes that away. Boom. I mean, this ends up being with a 4-yard gain. So not only did he take away this seam downfield, he also was able to come up and make this tackle. One thing I like about Dru Phillips is when he's in man, he really can make the quarterback think that it's zone. And it's just the way he plays it. He plays it with such heavy inside leverage, and then also is able to get outside. He's not panicking there. The receiver breaks first, and he breaks with them. Eyes on the receiver, eyes on the quarterback at the same time. I mean, this is exactly what you want. I mean, of course, you're concerned about this guy maybe crossing the face. Guess what? You just bring this foot back, and you're in trail technique. But he's able to play pretty much both sides here and close on this route here. All right, so this is more cover two here. All of these guys around this area, two deep safeties. Dru Phillips is right here, and he just sniffs out that Chuba Hubbard is in motion here, and he sees that this is probably going to be a swing pass to the running back. So he just kind of just waits it out, and goes up and gets him. And this is a running back. I mean, Carolina, this is exactly the matchup that they want. This is exactly the matchup they want. They would love to get Chuba Hubbard on a DB where he can either drop his shoulder, pick up 4 or 5 yards, or he can make a miss and try to make something happen down the sideline. But Dru Phillips is not having it there. Takes him down, open field, by himself. Great stuff. So I love Dru Phillips as a player. He's physical. He's good in coverage usually. But this right here exposes a weakness that I've kind of noticed in Dru Phillips on these crosser routes. Is sometimes he just doesn't have the speed across the field to stay with these guys. If he's not, perfectly aligned, if he's not ready to make that inside move at the exact same time the receiver is, he can get a step put on him. Now the receiver drops it luckily, so he can do his little celebration, but he's got to be able to, I don't know if he's just kind of off balance, but this is a situation where he's got to be in the position to swat this ball. And him running all the way across the field, he just seems like he just kind of got outran. So here's Dru Phillips here. Something else I've noticed is that he is amazing. I think I highlighted this in my last video of him. He's amazing on these pick routes here. They're running essentially a pick where he's going to have to run through this receiver pretty much to get to the man that he's covering. And he just does a great job avoiding people in the open field. I mean, the only way that this pick is going to happen is if the receiver literally interferes with him. So, I mean, I just love this about his game is he's just able to get downhill in a hurry and avoid these picks. All right, so we got Dru Phillips again and man right here, manned up on this slot receiver. And he just has to trust his back pedal right here. Just trust the back pedal because he gets turned around right there and he doesn't end up getting the ball thrown at him, but he's just got to trust the back pedal. You're what, 5 yards off the receiver? Who cares? Who cares? You know, at this point, you're like 3 or 4 yards off. Who cares if he makes a hard step? So he gets him with this rocker step right here. This hard step here from the receiver gets him to commit going this way. So he's scared of getting beat this way. Well, guess what? You got another man here. You got your safety here. No need to worry about that. If you see him making this hard step here, stay on top of him. Stay in the back pedal. Because if you stay in that back pedal, let's say, let's look at it here. Let's say he stays in his back pedal and the receiver does break this way. Or, you know, maybe he even breaks this way. Guess what? He can easily follow him wherever he goes. He can easily just follow him wherever he goes because he's looking directly at him. Now, once you turn this way to commit to running, that's how you get turned around there, and that's how you kind of get embarrassed. That's how you get embarrassed that the ball goes that way because once he has you in a blind spot, decent recovery, but not the best. Once he has you in that blind spot, what if it's an option route and he does decide to go back this way? Then you're completely cooked. So that's just something he's got to clean up there. Just trust his back pedal. That's something that a lot of young DBs run into where they just abandon their back pedal when they're in good position. All right, so whoever our defensive coordinator is next year, I don't know if it'll be Shane Bone, who knows? But whoever it is, I hope they continue to use Dru Phillips as a blitzer because this guy is amazing as a blitzer. He's going to get in the backfield and he's not going to make this tackle, but it just shows you how quickly he can get in the backfield. And even though he missed this tackle, it was almost a highlight play. I was like standing out of my chair almost when I saw him do that. Take a look from this angle. You're just going to see a blur come into the backfield and just miss Chuba Hubbard on this run. So something that's going to make Dru Phillips a great corner in the NFL is going to be his ability to just stay with guys and not allow these underneath routes to become big plays. That's really what you need out of your slot corner. You're not going to be running too many, 30, 40-yard plays down the field, but you are going to have a ton of these situations. So take a look at him in the slot here. How he just is able to break on that. So if this ball is getting thrown to this out route, Dru Phillips is limiting this to where there's very minimal yards after the catch. And that's what you want out of a slot corner. Decent there. Just watch how quickly he changes direction there. And that's exactly what we're looking for. All right, so I got to go back to this. Just tell me that this guy isn't a linebacker. Just watch this guy. The way he just runs, he does not care that he's listed as a DB because he plays like a linebacker or a safety. Take a look at this. He's all in the mix here. He gets laid out almost, but he gets right in the mix of it and helps stop this run here. He's got a lineman pulling, and he just is able to get right in the mix. So Dru Phillips more of the same here, just dynamic in his ability to sink into coverage and recognize what's underneath and go and make plays. That's essentially what he does the best. That's why he's valuable. And it's like almost like maybe like a third safety. It's like having an extra tackler, short tackler out there that you just would not have in most slot corners. So he's going to do exactly that. But just shout out to Brian Burns right here. Watch the maniac that this dude is. He's going to get to the quarterback in a hurry. I mean, this dude abused the left tackle there. And now let's take a look back at Dru Phillips. Let's look at him here. So Dru Phillips in the slot right here. Like I said, he's going to drop back here. He's going to notice it. And he's going to shut it down. And he's going to force a fumble. Take a look at that. And he's going to force a fumble. So take a look. Chuba Hubbard's going to get that swing pass again. And I mean, it seemed like every time he caught a swing pass, Dru Phillips was there to shut it down. And this should have been the play that won the Giants the game. But the Giants offense gave the ball right back. All right, so Dru Phillips putting together a solid rookie season. I think he's going to be our slot corner for a little while. I'm excited to see him continue to go out there and do his thing. See him right there dapping up Cordell Flott. Let me know if you want to see a Cordell Flott video. Like I said, we got some time between now and the next game, so I'll probably end up covering him. But Dru Phillips is going to be a guy that is going to be a short tackler for us. He's going to limit the yak, and he's going to be in sticky coverage as far as these underneath short routes. And I think as long as he's able to continue to be this good of a tackler, whatever weaknesses he has downfield are going to be, pretty null and void. Because in those situations where we got a number one receiver in the slot, he's probably not going to be covering him anyway. Now, I don't know what's going on with Deonte Banks, but maybe whatever we draft, whoever we get out here next year is going to be that guy. But Dru Phillips in this role gives us a huge advantage. This last play that I showed you, the forced fumble that he made, should have won the game. But instead, we got a turnover from Daniel Jones. If you want to look at how I viewed Daniel Jones' probably last game as a Giant, go ahead and click this video here.